We've talked workers' compensation cases many times before. Well, today we're talking about how an attorney judges one of these cases. I sat down with attorney Jim Higgins to learn more. We've talked before about workers' compensation cases, and today we're going to talk about if you are going to court, what factors a judge will be looking at. Attorney Higgins is here to explain for us. So what are some of those factors?
Well, workers' compensation cases are unique, and the judge is giving very specific parameters to look at in determining what the value of a work comp case is. And those are, the court's going to look at your age, they're going to look at your education, your impairment rating that your doctor gave you, or sometimes we'll hire a separate doctor that may give a different impairment rating, restrictions, they're going to consider whether you've gone back to work, or how much money you're making now after the injury. And all those things individually they consider, but they come together to determine how has this injury affected your ability to earn a living, your ability to obtain a job. Obviously, the less education someone has, the harder it is for them to find other employment. So they're going to have a bigger work comp case. The longer they've been in a job, and if they can't go back to that job, they're going to have a bigger work comp case because that has been a sole way they've made a living, and it's gone from them now.
Right.
So those are all the factors that a court's going to consider, and eventually they'll come up with what they call a vocational disability, which can be a percentage of disability, and that will hopefully compensate someone for the losses they've had because they've suffered a permanent injury at work.
Right. All right, so things to think about. Now, of course, there are a lot of workers' comp cases out there, but not all go to trial. Mm-hmm. So about how many would you say actually do?
You know, I've been doing this for a lot of years, and I will say they all get through different stages. Sometimes we resolve them very quickly. Sometimes they don't resolve until the eve of trial, and some of them go all the way through trial. And eventually it kind of fades out this way. I would say about half of them we're able to resolve pretty early, if not even more, because we try so many cases. I think the other side generally knows that we know what the value of the case is and they know what the value of the case is, and so let's just do this right now. But sometimes we don't agree, and in those cases I'd say they will get closer to trial as we get up there. Sometimes the carrier or the insurance company will want to settle, and then probably about 20% of them left over go to trial.
Right. So it definitely sounds like it depends on the case, the length of it, but how long would you say the whole process takes?
Well, again, it falls out on whether it settles early or not. I've had cases that have resolved as early as a month, and then we have had other cases that if we go all the way through trial or the Court of Appeals or the Supreme Court, it may take over a year. You know, they can take a while. The more complicated they are, the more serious the injury are, they just take longer. There's a lot more evidence to put together.
Right. So for folks out there who may think that they are entitled to something as far as a workers' comp case, they should give you a call, right?
Oh, yeah. They're welcome to. We don't mind talking to people. Sometimes, you know, they don't need us, but I don't mind pointing someone in the right direction. And then sometimes if they do need us, we're glad to help. It's what we do.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
The Higgins firm is serving Tennessee. Give them a call at 615-353-0930. Again, that number is 615-353-0930. For more information and a link to their website, higginsfirm.com, go to betternashville.com.